الرحيم. اللهم إني أفتتح الثناء بحمدك وأنت مسدد للصواب بمنك، وأيقنت أنك أنت أرحم الراحمين في موضع العفو والرحمة، وأشد المعاقبين في موضع النكال والنقمة، وأعظم المتجبرين في موضع الكبرياء والعظمة. اللهم أذنت لي في دعائك ومسألتك، فاسمع يا سميع مدحتي، وأجب يا رحيم دعوتي، وأقل يا غفور عثرتي. فكم يا إلهي من كربة قد فرجتها، وهموم قد كشفتها، وعثرة قد أقلتها، ورحمة قد نشرتها، وحلقة بلاء قد فككتها. الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا، ولم يكن له شريك في الملك، ولم يكن له ولي من الذل، وكبره تكبيرا. الحمد لله بجميع محامده كلها، على جميع نعمه كلها. الحمد لله الذي لا مضاد له في ملكه، ولا منازع له في أمره. الحمد لله الذي لا شريك له في خلقه، ولا شبيه له في عظمته. الحمد لله الفاشي في الخلق أمره وحمده، الظاهر بالكرم مجده، الباسط بالجود يده، الذي لا تنقص خزائنه، ولا تزيده كثرة العطاء إلا جودا وكرما. إنه هو العزيز الوهاب. اللهم إني أسألك قليلا من كثير، مع حاجة بي إليه عظيما، وغناك عنه قديم، وهو عندي كثير، وهو عليك سهل يسير. اللهم إن عفوك عن ذنبي، وتجاوزك عن خطيئتي، وصفحك عن ظلمي، وسترك على قبيح عملي، وحلمك عن كثير جرمي، عندما كان من خطئي وعمدي. أطمعني في أن أسألك ما لا أستوجبه منك، الذي رزقتني من رحمتك، وأريتني من قدرتك، وعرفتني من إجابتك، فصرت أدعوك آمنا، وأسألك مستأنسا، لا خائفا ولا وجلا، مدلا عليك فيما قصدت فيه إليك. فإن أبطأ عني عتبت بجهلي عليك، ولعل الذي أبطأ عني هو خير لي لعلمك بعاقبة الأمور. فلم أر مولا كريما أصبر على عبد لئيم منك علي يا رب. إنك تدعوني فأولي عنك، وتتحبب إلي فأتبغض إليك، وتتودد إلي فلا أقبل منك، كأن لي التطول عليك، فلم يمنعك ذلك من الرحمة لي والإحسان إلي والتفضل علي بجودك وكرمك. فارحم عبدك الجاهل وجد عليه بفضل إحسانك، إنك جواد كريم. الحمد لله مالك الملك مجري الفلك مسخر الرياح فالق الإصباح ديان الدين رب العالمين. الحمد لله على حلمه بعد علمه، والحمد لله على عفوه بعد قدرته، والحمد لله على طول أناته في غضبه، وهو قادر على ما يريد. الحمد لله خالق الخلق باسط الرزق فالق الإصباح ذي الجلال والإكرام والفضل والإنعام، الذي بعد فلا يرى وقرب فشهد النجوى، تبارك وتعالى. الحمد لله الذي ليس له منازع يعادله، ولا شبيه يشاكله، ولا ظهير يعاضده. قهر بعزته الأعزاء وتواضع لعظمته العظماء، فبلغ بقدرته ما يشاء. الحمد لله الذي يجيبني حين أناديه، ويستر علي كل عورة وأنا أعصيه، ويعظم النعمة علي فلا أجازي. فكم من موهبة هنيئة قد أعطاني، وعظيمة مخوفة قد كفاني، وبهجة مونقة قد أراني. فأثني عليه حامدا وأذكره مسبحا. الحمد لله الذي لا يهتك حجابه، ولا يغلق بابه، ولا يرد سائله، ولا يخيب آمله. الحمد لله الذي يؤمن الخائفين وينجي الصالحين، ويرفع المستضعفين، ويضع المستكبرين، ويهلك ملوكا ويستخلف آخرين. والحمد لله قاصم الجبارين مبير الظالمين مدرك الهاربين نكال الظالمين صريخ المستصرخين موضع حاجات الطالبين معتمد المؤمنين الحمد لله الذي من خشيته ترعد السماء وسكانها، وترجف الأرض وعمارها، وتموج البحار ومن يسبح في غمراتها. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. الحمد لله الذي يخلق ولم يخلق، ويرزق ولا يرزق، ويطعم ولا يطعم، ويميت الأحياء ويحيي الموتى، وهو حي لا يموت، بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير. اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وأمينك وصفيك وحبيبك وخيرتك من خلقك وحافظ سرك ومبلغ رسالاتك، أفضل وأحسن وأجمل وأكمل وأزكى وأنمى وأطيب وأطهر وأسنى وأكثر ما صليت وباركت وترحمت وتحننت وسلمت على أحد من عبادك وأنبيائك ورسلك وصفوتك وأهل الكرامة عليك من خلقك. اللهم وصل على علي أمير المؤمنين ووصي رسول رب العالمين، عبدك ووليك وأخي رسولك وحجتك على خلقك وآيتك الكبرى والنبأ العظيم. وصل على الصديقة الطاهرة فاطمة سيدة نساء العالمين. وصل على صبطي الرحمة وإمامي الهدى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة. وصل على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي، حججك على عبادك وأمنائك في بلادك صلاة كثيرة دائمة. اللهم وصل على ولي أمرك القائم المؤمل والعدل المنتظر وحفه بملائكتك المقربين وأيده بروح القدس يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعله الداعي إلى كتابك والقائم بدينك، استخلفه في الأرض كما استخلفت الذين من قبله، مكن له دينه الذي ارتضيته له، أبدله من بعد خوفه أمنا، يعبدك لا يشرك بك شيئا. اللهم أعزه وأعزز به، وانصره وانتصر به، وانصره نصرا عزيزا، وافتح له فتحا يسيرا، واجعل له من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا. اللهم أظهر به دينك وسنة نبيك حتى لا يستخفي بشيء من الحق مخافة أحد من الخلق. اللهم إنا نرغب إليك في دولة كريمة تعز بها الإسلام وأهله وتذل بها النفاق وأهله، وتجعلنا فيها من الدعاة إلى طاعتك والقادة إلى سبيلك، وترزقنا بها كرامة الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم ما عرفتنا من الحق فحملناه، وما قصرنا عنه فبلغناه. اللهم المم به شعثنا، واشعب به صدعنا، وارتق به فتقنا، وكثر به قلتنا، وأعزز به ذلتنا، وأغن به عائلنا، واقض به عن مغرمنا، واجبر به فقرنا، وسد به خلتنا، ويسر به عسرنا، وبيض به وجوهنا، وفك به أسرنا، وأنجح به طلبتنا، وأنجز به مواعيدنا، واستجب به دعوتنا، وأعطنا به سؤلنا، وبلغنا به من الدنيا والآخرة آمالنا، وأعطنا به فوق رغبتنا يا خير المسؤولين وأوسع المعطين. اشف به صدورنا، وأذهب به غيظ قلوبنا، واهدنا به لما اختلف فيه من الحق بإذنك، إنك تهدي من تشاء إلى صراط مستقيم. وانصرنا به على عدوك وعدونا إله الحق آمين. اللهم إنا نشكو إليك فقد نبينا صلواتك عليه وآله، وغيبة ولينا، وكثرة عدونا، وقلة عددنا، وشدة الفتن بنا، وتظاهر الزمان علينا. فصل على محمد وآله، وأعنا على ذلك بفتح منك تعجله، وبضر تكشفه، ونصر تعزه، وسلطان حق تظهره، ورحمة منك تجللناها، وعافية منك تلبسناها برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. صل على محمد وآل الطاهرين.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم يا كريم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, my dear brothers and sisters. May Allah accept your a'mal, accept your ta'at, accept your fasting. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us all from those who benefit from this month and take from this blessed month and take from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this blessed month by the right of Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Today we are celebrating, my brothers and sisters, the birth anniversary of the second Imam of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, or third counting Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Imam al-Hasan al-Mujtaba alayhi salam, who was blessed by not only being the grandson of Rasulullah, by not only being the son of Amir al-Mu'mineen, by not only being the son of none other than Sayyid al-Zahra and the brother of Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam, and an Imam that saved this nation from utter disaster and destruction, but also he was blessed in having his birthday, the day that he was born, in the middle of Shahr Ramadan. In the middle of Shahr Ramadan. For he was born on the 14th of Shahr Ramadan, my brothers and sisters, or near the middle at the very least. This Imam, my brothers and sisters, it's as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, Allahu A'lam, but it's as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that in the middle of this blessed month, I'm going to give you a gift, and he is Al-Hasan al-Mujtaba. This Hasan al-Mujtaba is the heart of Shahr Ramadan, because Shahr Ramadan signifies blessings, symbolizes blessings, and at the heart of those blessings is your blessed Imam, Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam. This is obviously poetic. I don't know if there's a hadith saying this, but this is poetically trying to paint a picture of the virtues of Imam al-Hasan alayhi salamullah. Naam. Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam had many virtues, and his actions and decisions, his decision making, is what led, my brothers and sisters, to Islam surviving up until today, and ultimately what led Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam taking his stand on the day of Ashura. If it wasn't for the choice of Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam in the face of Muawiyah, which we will discuss tomorrow and some today, we would not have had the Battle of Karbala that symbolized what it meant to be a Muslim in its truest form and manifested Rasulullah's message in the most beautiful way, with the ultimate sacrifice that Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam gave, that guided many, rather millions of human beings to the true path up until today and for future generations. Now, this is Imam al-Hasan alayhi salamullah. A lot of aspects of Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam's life go unheard of, unspoken about, because Imam al-Hasan, sad to say, is overshadowed by Imam Ali alayhi salam, by Rasulullah first and foremost, Imam Ali, Sayyid al-Zahra, Imam al-Hussain, overshadowed by these individuals that we constantly speak about, specifically Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam. But if you look into the life of Imam al-Hasan, and there's a lot of history on Imam al-Hasan, as opposed to some of the other Imams that we don't have a lot of history on. We have history, but not a lot. If you look into the life of Imam al-Hasan and the rich history of Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam, you find that this individual you can learn from in many worlds, in many scopes, in many departments in life. Whether you are a normal person in school, whether you're at university trying to look for something in the future that you find important and you have a passion for, trying to look for your own passion in university, whether you have a job, whether you're a business person, whether you're a Hausa student, whatever you are in life, you can take from Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam, because he has a lesson for each and every one of us. For each and every one of us, there's a lesson from the life of Imam al-Hasan. But there's one thing al-hilm. Along with all of the other imams. Yes, but Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam showed this, manifested this on many occasions. What's al-hilm? Al-hilm, my brothers and sisters, is what they call clemency. So put that aside. Not everybody knows what that means. It's this type of forgiveness that comes with a good action afterwards. It's this type of forgiveness when you don't need to forgive, when you're in the right, that is almost followed by ra'fa, followed by care, followed by kindness. So it's a mix of kindness and forgiveness. It's a mix of not looking when someone is doing something wrong, and I mean this metaphorically, turning away from the person who's wronging you, only to pick up something good and presenting it to them. Essentially, hilm, my brothers and sisters, is this fabric of forgiveness and kindness in one characteristic. Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam had al-hilm. He was halim alayhi salamullah. And you find that from the different manifestations of that characteristics, different times that Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam showed that characteristic, you can take so much, you can learn so much from Imam al-Hasan's personality, and also you can learn how the Imam alayhi salam was thinking in that moment and what the underlying message of Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam is in that moment. A lot of the times, my brothers and sisters, when we hear some of the stories, some of the hadith, some of the words of the Imam alayhi salam, whoever the Imam is, Imam Ali, Imam al-Hasan, Imam al-Jawad, Imam al-Sadiq, whoever, whichever Imam or Ma'soom, we take it at face value and we take it at surface level. Yes, that's great, that's good. But we don't delve into what he's trying to say, the underlying meaning, the mindset of the Imam alayhi salam. And this is something your humble servant, myself, I like to stress on a lot. Take into account the mindset of the Imam. Because we tend to think that the Imam is someone that is in another realm. We don't understand them. You know, they're almost like a controlled being, right? No, the Imam is a human being. Yes, he had qualities that differentiated him from normal human beings, 100%. But he was a human being. He had a mindset. He had an understanding. He had a protocol. He had a way of doing things. If I'm able to tap into the way that the Imam alayhi salam used to see the world, understand the world, the mindset of the Imam, I'm that much closer to being similar to the Imam in the way I live, in the way I act, in the way I speak, and the way I think. The way I think. How do I tap into the mindset of an individual? I look at what they said. Imam Ali alayhi salam, he says, it's narrated that he says, تكلموا تعرف. Speak and you will be known. فإن المرء مخبوء تحت لسانه. For the human being is hidden under their tongue. Yani the way I know you, the way you know me, the way we know each other is listen to the way they speak. Listen to what they say. Because the tongue only says or speaks, manifests, brings about what the mind is saying. The tongue is just a tool that tells you what this person is thinking. A person is known by what they say. A person is known by what they say. So let me get to know the Imam by what he says, what he does, how he acts. Let me understand his mindset. When the Imam alayhi salam is put in a situation where he's insulted, where he's being hurt, where he is, negativity is just thrown his way. How does he act? And what does this tell me about the Imam's mindset? What is the Imam actually trying to tell me? So let me give you 3 instances right now, and we're going to analyze them together and see what we can take from this, from these 3 instances, and what we can take from the Imam's mindset and the underlying message that the Imam, or messages that the Imam alayhi salam is trying to give us and tell us. Listen to what happened to the Imam alayhi salam. I'm going to give you 3 instances. And these are narrated in different books. The first one is that the Imam alayhi salam had a servant. Imam al-Hasan, he had a servant. Sheikh Baqir Sharif al-Qarashi actually narrates this hadith and the second one as well. This hadith says that Imam alayhi salam had a servant. And this servant had distaste for the Imam, didn't like the Imam. Allahu A'lam what it was in the heart of this servant towards the Imam, but it wasn't something good. And the Imam alayhi salam had a sheep, he had an animal. One day the servant goes to the sheep and he wants to hurt the Imam. So he breaks the leg of the sheep. And mind you, let me tell you what animals meant back then to their owners. An animal back then was a source of food, was a means to grow food, in the sense that the Imam or the person can take this sheep or this horse, whatever it was, this animal, take it into the fields and it'll plow the earth, right? So it was used as machinery, heavy machinery today, and also mode of transportation. These three things. So imagine encompassed in one thing is your food, your work, your livelihood, and your transportation, all in one thing, and that is the animal. The Imam alayhi salam had this sheep, and it held that much value. It held that much value economically speaking. So it was very valuable to have an animal, and if this animal was injured, these three things could potentially be affected. Yes? So this servant, knowing the value of the animal, he broke the sheep's leg. The Imam alayhi salam goes out, and he finds that his sheep, his leg is broken. So he turns to the servant. He says, what happened? And the servant didn't lie. The servant didn't lie. The servant said, I did it. It's one for someone to try and hurt you and hide because they don't want your retaliation, right? They don't want to be known. They don't want. And then there's someone that says, no, I don't care. Like, I'm going to do it and I'm going to show you I'm doing it. And imagine the mindset of the person trying to hurt the Imam. He's deliberately trying to hurt. He says, I did it. You know what the Imam alayhi salam does? He smiles and he sets this servant free. He says, Khalas, go. You're a free man. You're a free man. You were a slave in my house. You were a servant in my house. Go, you're a free man. And a slave's freedom is the most valuable thing that they can achieve in life. A slave's freedom. He set him free. This man, the servant, tried to hurt the Imam's livelihood, his food, his livelihood, and his transportation potentially. His whole life could have been dependent on this animal, or a portion of his life at the very least. And he deliberately did it and showed the Imam that he did it and stood up to the Imam, and the Imam alayhi salam in return gave him the most valuable thing that he could look for and yearn for in life. Number one. This is one instance, and we're going to analyze together. Second instance, it is said Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam was once walking in the city or was sitting down. The riwayah says that he met with this other person, and this person sympathized with Muawiyah. So Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam met or saw or had an interaction with this man that sympathized with Muawiyah. So he was a supporter of Muawiyah. And as you know, Muawiyah and Imam al-Hassan were enemies. So it's said that when this man saw Imam al-Hassan, he began insulting him. And some riwayat, if not this riwayah, another riwayah says he started swearing at him, hurling the worst of things at Imam al-Hassan, the worst types of negativity at Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. Imam al-Hassan waited for him to finish. When he was done, the Imam looked at him and said, you seem like a stranger. And I'm summarizing the words of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. He says, you look like a stranger. Maybe you're not from these parts. Let me take you in. If you're hungry, we'll feed you. If you're thirsty, we'll give you water. If you need what you need, we will give you. We will provide for you. The riwayah says, the man looked at Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, and obviously he was embarrassed, but he fell in love with Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. He fell in love with him. That I was hurling insults at you, and I was told that you are this type of person and that type of person, you're a bad man, you are this and that. But your actions, your words show something totally different. I was lied to. This man fell in love with Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. Second instance. Third instance. is how Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam saved Islam when he stood up to Muawiyah. Briefly, I'll give you the full run of it tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala, but briefly. It said Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, when he took the Khilafah from Imam Ali alayhi salam, Imam Ali passed away, he was the Imam after, so he took over Imam Ali's role. Who stood up to him? Muawiyah. Muawiyah got an army ready, and I'm summarizing very quickly. Muawiyah got an army ready to fight Imam al-Hassan. Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam got his men ready, but not all of them were loyal to Imam al-Hassan. They moved towards each other. Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, before meeting Muawiyah, took refuge in a camp. He set up camp. And it is said that Muawiyah, behind closed doors, was buying out the leaders of Imam al-Hassan's army until Imam al-Hassan's army turns on Imam al-Hassan. And now Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam is faced with either certain death because he has no supporters, or making peace with Muawiyah to expose Muawiyah for who he truly was, because he was hiding behind a facade. He was hiding behind a facade. He was hiding behind an illusion that he wanted what's good for the Muslimin. So he made the decision to give up this outward khilafah, this authority, although he's the Imam. He's the Imam. Whether someone wants him to be, whether someone elects him, it doesn't matter. He's the Imam, appointed by God. Yes, the Imam, not all the time. He's not going to be sitting on the chair and being the governor, being the king, being the president. Sometimes the Imam alayhi salam is not able to play that role. So he's going to be the Imam that is in his home guiding people. Whoever wants to come seek guidance from him will get it. Sometimes, like Imam Ali, he will be able to govern the Islamic nation. Other times he won't. And most of the time they didn't, alayhim salam, because they weren't able to. Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam knew himself. I'm an Imam, whether I sit on the throne or I give it up to someone else, to expose him, obviously, for a wisdom. Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam gave up his authority as in his outward political authority. Yani. He gave up his power. He gave up the khilafah, which was rightfully his, for the benefit of the Muslims and Islam altogether. And to expose, lastly, to expose Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan for who he truly was. Jameel, these are three instances. These are three instances that highlight the clemency, al-hilm, that the Imam alayhi salam had. Now, at surface level, I can take from the Imam alayhi salam in the first instance, I can take from the Imam that the Imam alayhi salam had someone do something bad to him, so he did something good back. I can take it at surface level. The second instance, I see that the Imam alayhi salam, negativity was hurled at him, so he retaliated with positivity. Jameel, good. The third instance, the Imam alayhi salam gave up something for the betterment, for the good of something more. طيب. At surface level, I can do exactly what the Imam alayhi salam did in those instances. If someone hurls negativity at me, just like the Imam alayhi salam did in the second situation, if someone insults me, I try to be good to them. In the first situation, if someone breaks my property, takes my phone, whatever, hits my car, I try to be good and forgive, let it go. Yes? طيب. At surface level, I act exactly how the Imam acted, and this is something very good. This is something very good, and this is something we have to do. 100%. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in the Quran, He says, إِنَّ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. What you see in the Prophet is a good role model. Take him as a role model. Whatever he does, do. This is why we have something called as-sunnah. Like, what's as-sunnah? As-sunnah nabawiyya is the words of the Prophet or the Imams, the actions of the Prophet or the Imams, and taqreer, the acceptance or agreement of the Imam. I'm not going to get into it, but just the first two, the words and the actions. Like, sometimes the Imam doesn't say anything. He just does. You see the Imam alayhi salam doing wudu in this way. You do wudu the same way the Imam does. Just mirror it. That's it. It's a very simple equation. And we are asked to do this. We are asked to do this, my brothers and sisters. And according to some ulama, they narrated this hadith, although there may be a difference of opinion whether it's authentic or not, but the meaning is very beautiful if we understand it correctly. Sheikh al-Bahai actually narrates this hadith. He says, "Alaykum bidin al-ajaiz," whether it was Rasulullah or one of the Imams, عليكم بدين العجائز. Like, what does that mean? It could hold many meanings. But the translation is, be like the elders in your religion. When it comes to your religion, be like elders, be like old people. What do you mean be like old people? Many different meanings, but one meaning. Take it as it is. The old person has been doing something for so long, they just do it because it's habitual, it's a habit. Do they understand? Do they understand exactly what they are doing? Maybe in the beginning they did, but after a time, they just do it because it's part of who they are to do it. They say, Imam Ali alayhi salam did this, so I'm just going to do it like Imam Ali. That's it. That's it. Imam Ali, if he jumps in fire, I'm going to jump after him. That's how they are. Alaykum bideen al-ajaiz. Imam Ali alayhi salam said this, I'm going to say this exactly the way he says. I'm not going to put a fatha nor a kasra, nor am I going to change a word. That's how he said it. I'm going to do it as he said it. Because of the love for this individual that they have, if they had their whole entire lives and it's habitual, it's taken over their minds to the point where they just do. They mirror exactly what is going on. Sometimes with understanding, sometimes no, just doing it how they see it. Alaykum bideen al-hajaiz, just do as we do. Don't try and make up stuff. Just do as we do. This is good. This is very good. But we can delve deeper. Because we're not elders. We're thinkers. If we want to just do what they did, alayhi salam, yes. And this is what we have to do. But can I delve deeper and take something more from what the Imam alayhi salam? Take something more from what the Imam alayhi salam did? Absolutely can. Number one, let me analyze me and you. The Imam alayhi salam, when the person hurled insults at him in the second situation, Imam alayhi salam, he said, this person is hurling insults at me. What I'm going to say is, brother, I see that you're a stranger. Maybe you need something. 1 second. He was hurling insults at me. But Imam, you're telling me that he's the problem. He has an issue. There's a naqs. There's something missing, not in me, in him. A person hurling insults at me doesn't show anything about me. It shows everything about them. This is what the Imam alayhi salam is telling. It's as if he's saying, Ahmad, listen closely. When he hurled insults at me, I didn't even defend myself. No. I looked at him and I said, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with this person? He's saying I'm such and such and such. He's saying I'm holding these negative qualities and insulting me for them. But I'm trying to tell you, Ahmad, he is the issue. He is the problem. The negativity is coming from him because he himself, she herself, is the place where the negativity is. This is coming from a negative place from within themselves. And so the Imam alayhi salam tells me, he says, there's a problem with him. Figure out what that issue is. Help him. Yes, he's insulting me, but that insult is coming from naqs, from a wrong place within themselves. And it's on you to help that individual, although he was insulting. This is where Imam Ali alayhi salam comes in with his most beautiful words. And anybody that is ever insulted by another, I've been insulted, you've been insulted, everybody's been insulted. Everyone here has been insulted by someone. Insulted, hurt, spoken about negatively. Remember the words of Imam Ali. These words, my brothers and sisters, write them down. Everyone here with us today, take a piece of paper and a pencil. Take a piece of paper and pencil, put it in front of you. Or take your phones out and write this note, this hadith. This hadith will save you headaches. Just remembering this hadith. Look what he says. And I'm going to translate it. Imam Ali alayhi salam, he says, اعلموا أيها الناس, or أيها الناس اعلموا. He says, oh people, know this. أيها الناس اعلموا أنه ليس بعاقل من انزعج بقول الزور فيه. For anyone that knows Arabic, you see the immaculate words of Ali ibn Abi Talib. He says, look what he says. He says, know, O people, know this. The one who feels insulted by the lies of people towards him, the lies that others are saying about him, the insults that people say about him or her that are not true, then no, this person is not an intellectual, not sane. The sane person, the person who has a mind, will come and say, like, he's saying that, wallah, I am a liar. And I know I didn't lie. Me being hurt by this insult, that is not, I'm not that person. If I am actually a liar, then I must feel bad because I am a problem. I have an issue. If I was a liar, then I should be feeling hurt because he told me the truth about myself. So I should go back and think, I lied. I did something wrong and I should feel bad about it. That makes sense. But for someone to call me a liar, and I know I didn't lie, but for me to feel bad about it, why? He's not telling me the truth of myself. When I die on the day of judgment, Allah Ta'ala is not going to punish me for lying. Why should I feel bad about it? It's illogical to feel bad about it. Wallah, he said this about me. Okay, let him say what he wants. Let him say what he wants about me. Is it real? Is it true? No. Then why do I have to feel bad? Why do I feel this way? It's insane to feel this way. It makes no sense. Yes, you feel the emotion. Okay, but for me to show, to manifest, to retaliate, he's saying this about me. Is it true? No. Then why retaliate? If you know yourself, not to be ugly, not to be a liar, not to be whatever, all of these disgusting things, stingy, whatever it is, then why care what they say about me? Why let it affect me? Why should I suffer? Please listen, my brothers and sisters, especially you in high school, especially you in university. I'm saving you a headache. I'm not a 50-year-old man giving you a lecture. I'm a 26-year-old man. I've been in your shoes. I know what you go through. I had people speak about me. I have people speaking about me now. People speaking about me now. When you're in this place, you have everyone has an opinion about you. Everyone has an opinion about you right now. Right now, people have an opinion about who you are. And they may speak about you. I'm saving you a headache. I'm telling you, from the words of Imam Ali, from the words of Imam Hussain, if you don't have these qualities, why let it change you? Why suffer? Why put yourself through agony? Why put yourself through agony? There's the riwayah. Again, because I'm fasting, I'm not going to narrate it, but I'm going to give you just a general meaning of the ayah. Listen. Riwayah where someone accuses one of our holy, immaculate, masumin, infallibles, of something. Of lying, of something. I forget exactly what it is, but it's the meaning of it is at the top of my head. And so the Imam alayhi salam, he says, if it's true, then I ask Allah Ta'ala for forgiveness. But if it's false, I ask Allah Ta'ala to forgive you. I believe that's the meaning of the narration. If it's actually in me, if this is the truth about me, and I lied, I ask Allah Ta'ala to forgive me. But if it's not true and you're lying against me, and I ask God to forgive you, khalas, not done. Go your separate way. It's finished. Someone hurling insults at me doesn't speak about who I am. It speaks about who they are. And if it's the truth about me, if it's true, then I should acknowledge that. Number one. I'm going to give you another underlying message from the acts of the Imam, is that he retaliated negativity. He retaliated in the face of negativity with good. Retaliation, my brothers and sisters, when you hear the word retaliation, It's always given a negative context. One second. Retaliation, essentially to respond. Let's use the word respond instead of retaliation, because there's some sort of negative context put beside the word retaliation. Put retaliation aside. Negative response. Okay. When I respond, 9 times out of 10, it's negative. The Imam alayhi salam, he says, respond, but be positive. The Imam alayhi salam was put in a situation where he was insulted, where his animal was hurt. He responded with positivity. Telling me, if there's negativity in your life from someone hurling something at you, change it to positivity. Be positive. He's my enemy. Anytime I communicate with this person, he causes me a headache. No problem. Don't communicate with that person. She's constantly talking about me. Don't communicate with her. Don't even bring her up. Don't give her the time of day. Don't give him the time of day. Don't let them know that you're affected by them. No. Ignore them. Cut them off. But, this is very important. I'm going to leave you with this because I'm running out of time, but this. Here. Pray for them. Pray for their guidance. And if not their guidance, pray that Allah Ta'ala forgives them. Trust me. You're going to tell me, Ahmad, that makes no sense. Listen. I'm not telling you because I read a hadith, nor am I telling you because I read it in a book. I'm telling you from my own experience. I'm telling you because Ahmad Bazzi went through this as your brother. Don't look at this. Don't look at any of this stuff. I'm your brother. Before any of this, I'm your brother, and I've always been your brother. Even if you don't know me, I'm your brother. I pray for you. You pray for me. Because us mu'mineen, we believers, we pray for each other. We're closer than what you think. Take it from your brother, from Ahmad. If you take that negativity and allow it to brew in your mind, trust me, it's so poisonous. It will bring you down. Your life will be hell. Trust me. But right when you sit on that prayer mat and you say, Ya Allah, they hurt me, but forgive them, you will feel better. I had to learn that the hard way. Because for a time in my life, this person or that person hurt me, mathalan. I keep it inside. I think about it constantly. How they hurt me. They did this to me, Ya Allah. I pray, Ya Allah, they did this to me. They hurt me. They took away something so precious from me. They insulted me, mathalan. But that one night where I sat down and I said, Ahmad, why am I doing this? Why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you doing this to yourself? And I sat down and I said, Ya Rab, I want this to end. It's done. Ya Rab, just forgive them. I felt better in the instant. Because they're not living in my mind rent-free anymore. It's done. The memories are gone. Ya Rab, forgive them. And every time when I pray now, Ya Rab, forgive them. Forgive them for what they did. Forgive them for what they said. I don't want anything anymore. Khalas. I can now move on. If they are stuck in the past, that is them tormenting themselves. I moved on. I moved forward. And if I made a mistake, I asked God to forgive me first and foremost. If I did something wrong, I asked God to forgive me and then to forgive them. Take that negativity, change it to something positive and grow from it. This is what Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam taught me and taught you and taught the world, my brothers and sisters. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم أسأله تعالى أن يعفو عنا ويغفر لنا ويرحمنا إنه نعم المولى ونعم النصير وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد.